Guys, I think I'm here.
God!
Manny has entered the chat.
I'm gonna text Manny if he's here.
F's in chat. F's in chat. Oh, sevens.
Manny, you're dead?
Clip that.
Look at that shit.
Don't die.
You must rug in.
Row. Are you playing? Are you on your new computer, Waco?
No, I was able to scrub and factory reset my old laptop. It's working like a champ for now. So
Hell yeah.
The scratch
Saving
hard
that money
drive's
for you
chugging
no
right
longer.
along.
I told you it was just the porn everyone downloaded.
yeah, it was just the
Factory
kids'
reset
bullshit.
fixes it every time. You know.
Every time. Nice little cleanse.
Yeah, I played with it last week. No one said, "Hey, Waco, you sound like shit." So I'm assuming I'm okay.
You just gotta keep LimeWire off.
Yeah, you seem normal.
Yeah, this is usual Waco. Which we love to see.
Speaking of, Waco, can you mute
Aw.
yourself?
What the fuck?
Did you go back push top?
Just
Alrighty.
remind me, can you mute? This is crazy.
Aw,
Dave, the game won't load for me.
I won't be able to make it tonight. When is that from?
I just DM'd him right now.
Oh.
Says today.
That was funny. I was both confused. I was like, but Manny, you're right here.
I'm questioning if I'm alive. Like, am I alive? By ghosts? What's going on?
Am I here? Well, since you are here, Manny, what happened last time?
Oh, a bunch of shit.
Uh-huh.
Starting off with, last session we started with the recap of the previous session.
Can you go ahead and give us the recap?
Yeah, the recap was,
I've been DM for so long and no one has ever said that before. That's really funny.
Yeah, and you can shorten it up even more than the right. 'Cause it would be shorter
It's a
than the
recap
first-
recap.
Dude,
So it's got to be shorter.
imagine if we kept that
but-
going since session 1.
God,
Right.
we
God.
would be half as far as we are right now. You'll be an
basically,
Ocaria
the recap
still.
of the recap was the stags with the runes. It's in our blood. We're here. My interpretation is
It started with the recap of the recap of the recap. Though.
God, you're right.
You know
started
what?
that
Let's save some
Oh my
time.
God.
What happened last session, Manny?
Oh, okay. Thank you.
In my
We
blood, in my
continued
veins.
Yeah, we continued with the combat that we were in, thanks to the stags with the runes that warned us about. They tripped the alarms. So we essentially just wrapped up combat. It was pretty cool. Thunder didn't have the best time because it was just like blinded, dragged, then squeezed.
But
Thunder couldn't give a good recap. But...
yeah, I really couldn't. What happened? I saw nothing.
But you did turn into a Kamadan for the first time. That was cool.
Yeah, I turned into a Kamadan for the first time. I summoned a Kamadan. It was a cool thing. I'm trying to recall if anyone did anything really cool. I mean, Aslos did some cool shit with
Aslos showed off his
transporting
new
people around.
subclass. Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty fucking dope. If I'm being like pretty honest.
Yeah, if you're TBH,
teleporting people and enemies.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Where I was running up, like
it was going crazy.
Yeah, really flexing the powers of the world tree. And I think at this point, y'all have put together the fact that the world tree is just a big teleporter. Papa Zottle used it to teleport. Now Aslos is using it to teleport. It just like zipping people around.
Yeah, but for me, it gives me a headache.
Your headache. Jin did take a little snooze in the middle there. And then you finish up combat. Oh, yes,
Halbjorn disintegrated the Mind Whisperer because he looked at him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Someone looked at you a little wrong, and so you reduced them to ash. Just casual battle things. And then
we utilized the new loot pool. Oh, but continue what you were about to say.
Yeah, we did use the new loot, which is kind of cool. Me likey. And then what happened after combat?
we tied the Yanti, the new Yanti prisoner, in the bag, and we're kind of maybe possibly gonna have a squad of random race prior Yanti
Oh yeah, we were
soldiers,
gonna kill him and bring
Right.
him back as something.
which I
You-
think would be fucking hilarious.
Yeah, let's do it.
You're
And
basically
we
like
have one,
neutering them.
and we could do a second one. Yeah.
Yeah, we're
I like
basically no, we're doing the opposite of what they're doing with the black broth, right?
It is poetic, yes.
Yeah.
You're
Trying to
What,
kill
what were we
one
calling it? A
fire.
menagerie?
Yeah, we're
Weren't we
still the
called a-
menagerie.
Yeah. The true menagerie.
Truly, the
We're
menagerie.
becoming more and more menagerie as we go.
So yeah, the group of you have a Wanti hostage now at this point. You tried to extract a little bit of information from them, but unlike your previous guest, who felt as though his life was in jeopardy, Grunk, right?
Yeah, Grunk.
This Wanti is not as willing to share his secret.
Well, we'll see if he's willing to share his secret if he's a kobold.
Yeah, I guess you haven't given him the ultimatum yet, but you are finding him more difficult to work with, right? And so, anything else anyone wants to clarify or have discussed before we hop in?
David, where's that big roll table?
The loot table?
No, the race one.
I'll find it. I'll put it in important Malnova.
He posted it in general in one of them. I remember.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if it was in. I think I actually put it in Foundry chat, which was a huge mistake.
While you look for that,
I'll find it. Yeah.
I have a clarification.
Yes, please.
I'm having fun.
You know what? That warms my heart,
loving it.
Manny. I'm glad you're having fun. Just
yeah.
wait till we
Let's
have in
get-
store this session.
Ooh.
Let's get it.
Let's just freaking get it. And here's the table.
Oh.
Okay, so what I would like to do is to bring y'all a day in advance. The group of you are still continuing to proceed towards Darzalur, since you know that regardless of what you end up doing with this 1T, that is your destination. And so the group of you are making camp for the night, once again, kind of the ruins of a building once occupied. And just like you see here in this little scene, it's real cozy. You're in the jungle. And you have been informed by the Grung, by your Grung compatriot, that the city of Darzalur, where you're heading to, is within a day's trek now. So essentially, this is the last rest before reaching the city, if you choose to continue. And
Pick
so,
your spells, Manny.
So are we rested at this point?
yeah,
Always
y'all
keep my
have already
spells check up.
y'all have already taken a long rest, so you can go ahead and long rest up, change your prepared spells. You will have another rest before reaching the city tonight, so you can re-prepare your spells after this upcoming long rest. But we're just kind of fast forwarding a little bit in the future with your travel. In the meantime, the 1T captive that you have been traveling with has not really spoken to the group of you. You really haven't spoken to it either. More focused on making travel progress towards the city. But now that... What's that?
It's not an it.
You're right.
It's in the hole. I thought it was
It's in the hole. It's in the hole. So... He... Have you confirmed that, Manny?
He's a person.
So yeah, you haven't gotten any new information from them. So as the group of you are settling in for the night, you can discuss how you want to proceed to Darzalur, what you want to do with the captive. Basically, all of your planning should occur now.
What are we doing?
And additionally, for your plans for Darzalur, you don't have a lot of information to work with, but the Grung that you are kind of beginning to friend up a little bit is willing to help in his own kind of selfish efforts, right? Even though the two of you, when I say the two, the group of you and him, are working together, I think it would be very clear to all of you that this is not out of the goodness of his heart. This is for his own self-preservation. It is a selfish means to his own end. So I don't want it. I don't even think the group of you would feel even quite friendly towards him, because he's not really that friendly towards you. He's just kind of tolerable. But in serving this end, at this stop here, he has begun to sketch out two important locations in the city of Darzalor that the group of you can begin to use in this moment to plan how you attempt to get into the city. And so I'll expose those tabs for you at the top, and if you want to talk to him about what you see on those tabs, then that's also something you can do. I'm giving you all a little bit of freedom here on how you want to proceed, because I know there are a couple points, right? There's the entering Darzalor, there's the captive, and then there's the Grung. So let me expose these tabs for you, and then I'll let you decide how you want to proceed.
Uh-oh.
I do want to say, since we're like talking about as we travel through time, each morning I am doing good berry and ensuring that our two Yanti captives have a good berry.
Oh, that's very kind of you. The Grung peacefully eats them. The captive, you kind of have to force feed.
Yeah, I don't mind doing that.
The Moon Gate, Sky Gate, the Sun Gate, West Tower, Garden. Hey,
And
well,
so-
I don't want to go through the Sun Gate.
Too bright.
And so, if you want to, we can start with these as the Grung kind of sits the group of you down and shows you his sketches and begins to explain what you're looking at. So, let's start with the Sun Gate. And he brings you over to this drawing.
Damn,
Yes.
Grung, these are good sketches.
Thank you.
Quite detailed.
Yes,
Damn.
I am an artist.
Aw.
It's like in the ground too.
Yeah, it's like in the dirt.
He actually 3D did this in the dirt.
Yes, it's honestly impeccable. The city of Darzalor is a glorified fort. There are only two entrances and exits from the city: the Sun Gate and the Moon Gate. The Sun Gate is the primary access point in and out the city. This gate is open at all times of day and all times of night. It is the only gate open to the public. People want tea can pass through the gate freely. But as a result of this, it is heavily guarded as it receives the most traffic. And he begins to point out to you locations where guards will be kept. But, on the other hand, it is much less suspicious to pass through the Sun Gate. And he also points out to you, there are Wanti guards in these locations, sentry points, and they rotate. I don't know the timings of their rotations. To counteract this, however, a jade golem is situated at the main gate that does not need rotation, as it requires no sleep or food, drink. Next is the Moon Gate. The Moon Gate is a specialized entry point. The Moon Gate takes its name for its timing. It's only open after the sun falls. This gateway is not available to the public. It's a military entry point used to transport supplies, equipment, troops and vehicles. As a result, it's much less guarded. And he begins to point out where he believes sentries lie. These, of course, would also have rotations that I'm not aware of. So, the advantage with the Moon Gate is that it is less guarded and less watched. However, it's time restricted as to when the portcullis is actually raised and requires a stronger story to pass through.
How often do military supplies go in and out of the Moon Gate?
He considers quietly. Difficult to say. It is the capital city, so I imagine quite often. I've passed through it a number of times, but as a ranking official, not as part of a supply chain. My guess would be every several days, perhaps more often, depending.
Are we in the hole or are we out of it?
Adam, that can be up to y'all. If you would rather have this conversation.
I don't want to have this conversation next to the other one, for sure.
Yeah, I imagine outside the hole.
Okay, yeah, that's fine then.
Alright, so here's my thoughts, and obviously it doesn't mean that's what we're doing, but maybe what if we like stake out the pathway that goes in and out of the Moon Gate and wait for one of these supply caravans to show up and kill those Wanti and take over as the merchants and try to get in that way, or as the tradespeople.
That's a possibility.
Good one.
Which entrance is closer to the gate down into the sewer where we need to go?
I believe that once we gain access into the city, further accessing the sewers will be quite easy. I'm not concerned about that access point.
Cool. Okay, so we only have to get in so far. We just have to get through one of these gates into the city.
Undetected.
How big are the parties that usually carry these supplies in?
I'm sure it varies. Some, if it's a large supply chain from another city that has traveled far, I'd imagine it's actually quite extensive. However, I know that myself and my troops, we have used the Moon Gate if we're arriving from a mission, maybe late at night. Like I said, it's supposed to be for official business only, but the 1T succumb to laziness as well. Sometimes it's simply easier to use the Moon Gate than it is the Sun Gate, as the Sun Gate is quite busy and trafficked.
Well, what about the? You were part of one of the groups that went out to look for us, or at least the other guy was. I don't know. Were you part of that too?
I was part of a group, yes. And he kind of looks to the ground.
We could come back and claiming to be one of
so y'all, I mean, we just fought a bunch of dudes that are supposed to go back sooner or later, right? How long do y'all stay out? Like a day or two, or is it ever, just out and back in?
You can see him consider this thoughtfully. This is a true point. They surely have not heard news yet of the group's failure. We captured them all or killed them all. No escapees.
We could pretend to be your group, but like you succeeded, and we bring you as the captive.
He licks an eyeball.
I like that plan.
I think we have three options right now. Right?
The only issue with that is we open ourselves up for someone higher up in the command being like, okay, well, we'll take him from here, basically, and then our whole everything's.
Oh yeah,
but then we could give over the other guy who's been made to look like an illusion of a grunk.
Yeah, we can protect this grunk, and we can have the other guy
Yeah, the other
prisoner.
Yanti that we
I mean, he's
kidnapped.
probably just gonna die, right?
Because we need the grunt. Yeah, we need the grunt for the sewers.
What
Yeah.
if
We
we
just
just
need-
turn him into a different? Like, let's just turn
I mean,
him
we
into
can try
something
that.
different altogether and just use that guy as our bait.
Yeah, that's
He
fine.
doesn't want to
Yeah,
talk.
Yeah, we just like gag him and then make him look like whatever we want.
Well,
What
I
if?
mean, like we kill him and reincarnate him right now and make him actually something different.
yeah.
Illusion doesn't work as soon as they touch him.
And
He may
and then
cooperate though.
If
yeah, well,
well,
it doesn't
he's
matter
gagged.
because he'll be gagged. Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
and he'll be a
What I'm saying is,
different
like, if we make an
race.
illusion of a Grum and then they grab him and it's gonna be a snake arm, like
Yeah,
it's not.
that's
It's
what it is.
immediately gonna mess it up.
Yeah, to be
Thunder,
clear,
is
I
your
thought
spell
the
ready?
whole idea of turning him was to get him to talk, maybe, right? Like, get him under our heel more.
Well, we have the grung. We don't really need
Yeah,
the guy
exactly.
anymore.
And this guy's
I
been
mean, I just think
non-cooperative.
guys.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's been
Well,
non-cooperative.
we'll
I
just
mean,
use
this
the
is our
non-coop.
use case for him, right? We had to figure out something to do with him. That's why we
Okay,
kept him.
okay.
And I think this probably makes more sense to do that.
Word.
Now is the issue of, like, we can all look like 1T, but we can't look like the 1T raiding party. You know what I mean? Like, we all look like the same 1T, don't we? Or do we have different? I don't remember.
I mean, we could look like different ones, couldn't we?
Yeah, it essentially works as that illusion
disguise.
spell, like disguise self. So you can choose how to look. I think the issue would be that you don't know what his 1T members looked like
Hmm.
because you only encountered him.
But he could describe them for us.
He could attempt to describe them, yes.
And then
Well, just tell us what type of 1T they were. and
But remember,
can
we
make
killed
it
a whole
match.
band of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can't we just like
Oh,
dig it back up? It was only like 30 minutes ago.
Well,
last night.
yeah, I think y'all are confused. Like we're confusing
we've
two
moved.
different 1T parties. You have
Talking
moved
Yeah,
about a
last-
day's
the
travel.
Grum's 1T party. Is what we're talking
Yeah,
about.
last night was the one we just
Well,
came
okay.
upon us.
Let's see what the
Well,
other
that
guy
one's not
turns
safe.
into, because that might help make our decision. Because if he's not a Grum,
Yes.
then it doesn't, that one doesn't even matter to do that.
This
If
is
he's
wise,
something
I
completely
think.
different, then we can just be the other party that we just saw and say, hey, you told us to find someone that's different, and this is someone that's different. So here we are.
Fuck yeah.
what if they turn into
Hey,
a
Mom.
Yanti though?
Then we
Alright.
kill him and turn him into something else.
Yeah.
Thunder, do you have that ready?
Yes. I look at him before this situation. I'm like, why is it that your sun gate opens to the south and not the east?
And
Do we even know
did you
cardinal
say this to the
directions?
Grunk?
Yeah.
The Grung licks his eyeball and says, "The sun holds great importance to us. Not so much the direction. For example, our great emperor, the greatest of all of us, besides our Lady Serpent, we refer to as the Sun King. For it is in the sun that us 1T are most powerful, warmed by its golden rays. So,
This reminds me of a
Firebenders.
great. I was gonna say, this reminds me of that great story where there used to be a lunar eclipse for the attack to work. They're least powerful.
Dude, let's create a lunar eclipse. Or solar eclipse.
the Sun Gate for us refers not to the direction, but its importance.
Hmm.
Nice.
Alright, well, let's go see what fun thing we get this guy to conjure up into.
We go down
I'm
into
starting.
the hole.
I am starting to like have like not a bad feeling, but like I'm like, dang, these guys do come back to life, but surely they remember the pain of dying. So I do want to like make sure they die.
No, Aslos makes it
That's-
quick.
as
Yeah, Aslos
quick.
kills him.
We don't have Aslos. We don't have
He's
Aslos.
Well,
down in
Jen
his
can make
hole. He can snap his neck.
I'll let y'all have Aslos for a quick and painless death.
Yeah, Aslos can snap
Thank
his
you,
neck.
Aslos.
No problem.
Thank you, Aslos. All right, the group of you descend into the
I
hole
just hope he doesn't
where
turn into
the
like a bugbear Goliath.
But I stand guard. I stand guard outside the hole.
Okay, smart. You continue watch, and down in the hole, the rest of you go, and the Wanti priest is bound and gagged to a chair in
David,
the
you haven't
darkness of
made
the
the
void.
whole scene yet.
Oh my god, I forgot. I'll have a whole scene for y'all, I promise, next week.
Just need a black screen.
Good thing
Yeah, she's a
Drew's
black.
not here.
I mean, I guess I could do that right now, but
It'd be nice to have like some kind of circular outline, right?
yeah, I have an
Make-
idea for the whole. I want to actually make it. I was
I was
too
gonna say
busy
like a
making other
black
scenes.
screen and then like a little light coming from the top.
Yeah, with all of you looking over it.
Yeah.
The group of you descend down to the hole where the Wanti priest is bound and gagged in the void, and it looks at the group of you with amber eyes as you approach it.
Oh, don't look at us.
All right, buddy. We gave you the option, and now you're out of them. So
Do you remove its gag, or does it just
Nope.
continue to look at you?
Nope.
Nope. Okay, it just looks at
There.
you.
There's no reason
There.
to say anything.
Sorry, they. Unblinkingly,
Eyes.
the Wanti watches the group of you as it awaits their fate.
While it's watching us, Aslos comes up behind and snaps his neck.
Yeah, and you hear a sickening crunch as the Wanti falls over lifeless.
Damn it.
Alright, well, if he comes back as something like crazy, like a Goliath or a bugbear or something, we're just gonna kill him again and redo it, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so, Thunder, you're the spellcaster. Go ahead and give me a D100.
Okay.
And you watch as Alargian
Dragonborn.
reforms the body of the creature in front of you. You can see kind of green veins of magic beginning to pulse over the body, as you have now seen several times now. And you watch it reshape itself as it is beginning to pulse outwards. You watch as the body grows. It reaches a new height, a solid 6.5 feet tall, as it begins to surge upwards. You see the muscles begin to ripple out as the Dragonborn takes a new form. The scales kind of reform themselves. Instead of the slick, soft scales of a serpent, you watch as they grow outwards, becoming the hard, armored scales of a Dragonborn. And you can see the once kind of greenish brownish scales of the Wanti begin to muddle as they find their new color. And I need a D12.
Thunder.
Thunder.
And the thunder rolls. Doom, doom, doom.
Wow.
and the lightning strike.
Yeah.
I'm looking for a table for color. You rolled a 5. 1, 2, 3,
Yes.
5. You watch as the scales begin to turn from a muddled kind of green brown, and they begin to turn a dark goldish color as they begin to
Ooh.
reflect the light from outside. And you watch as he reincarnates as a copper dragonborn.
Wow.
Sweet.
That's pretty
Dude,
cool.
he's gotta be pretty stoked for
That's
that.
an upgrade.
That's pretty.
It's like
Hell yeah.
Those are perfect for our
That's an
captive.
upgrade, but
too.
we're literally doing
And-
it so we can send him to go die.
you watch as he opens his eyes once again, and the eyes are eerily similar, different but similar. As he opens them, no longer are they the same amber color that they were as a 1T, but instead now kind of a dull greenish color, almost the same colors that his scales once were. As he takes in his new body, still restrained, still gagged, as he lets out like a muffled groan.
So,
I feel like our first Yonti is really jealous.
Yeah, so he's just like
Like,
a
The Grung
Okay.
kind of looks at his little froggy hands and then looks back at the group of you silently.
Like, man.
It's not our fault.
hey, we don't get to choose, okay?
He's probably like, "Can you do it again to me?" Like,
Yeah. Can we just keep going
third
through
time,
these,
third
or
time's a
what?
charm.
Really?
And
man?
for the group of you, this would be the first time you see a Dragonborn beyond the golden Dragonborn that you had met before, Iona, all those months ago back in Malnova. So for the group of you, it would kind of be a bit of a new sight.
Yeah, it's
Not
dope. I'm
freshly new, but exciting still.
Yeah, so we can pawn him off as like an adventurer. But
Yeah.
is that the idea?
Yeah. Yep.
But what when he talks? Like, is there a way to not let him talk? Like,
Yeah, we gotta just permanently gag him, cut out his tongue.
Oh, Jesus. You could just like regular gag him too.
yeah, I was thinking about that too.
We're gonna give the look to Jen.
I'm just
Well,
saying, those
yeah,
might slip
what
off, you know.
What if they take him from us? You know, that was what I was thinking too.
But
I
even
think-
if he starts talking and says, "No, I'm actually a 1T," like what's gonna happen? They're gonna grab him and be like, "No, you're fucking Dragonborn." What the
oh yeah, he's crazy.
starts
We should be like, yeah, this dude's
speaking
fucking
to-
crazy.
He's saying anything to try to get
Yeah.
out of this.
He's dumb. He thinks because he's dragon.
It's not an illusion. Like he straight up is that, so he can't like
Yeah, true
argue
that.
about that.
Yeah, he's
even if
crazy.
something happens.
We'll gaslight the fuck out of this guy. and
So we'll still
it'll
gag
be
him,
fine.
but if that does happen somehow,
Yeah.
then we'll be fine.
So Jen, definitely tell him like, oh, like if we do hand him over, like, yeah, this motherfucker's crazy, you know?
Yeah.
He's a Yanti.
That could work.
Okay, well, there's
Damn, do we
that.
have anything we can like wipe his mind with, maybe? Because now I'm like,
Yeah, I know that would
what
be
if he
awesome.
knows like some secret phrase or something that makes them think, oh yeah, this guy definitely isn't one, or knows all, knows what he.
You don't got no charm or friendly things you can do to people. It's all illusion. I got nothing.
No.
Yeah,
I gave you my suggestion.
I know, but that's kind of like, oh, here's.
That's
the-
ouch.
Oh, really? That's what
And he
you
has
feel
no
bad about.
charm.
That's where you draw the line.
Yeah, that's inhumane as we give him away to go die.
Said you
Instead,
made
we're
it.
just gonna gaslight him and psychologically abuse him.
Yeah, and then make him die anyways.
Yeah, that's what I'm
We're
saying.
good.
Stay on your high
Okay.
horse, I guess.
So tie it
And,
up, tie it up and go to bed, or we still want to talk about anything? What else? Is there anything else?
Yeah, that's up to y'all. If there's anything else that you feel you need to kind of iron out before the next day, this is the
I guess-
the opportunity to do it.
What we look like? Are we gonna figure that out? Are we gonna go for the grung?
Yeah, we'll just
People
have
are
the Grung
weak.
describe what his party consisted of.
The Grung kind of closes his eyes and thinks. Yes. We're a small party. It was myself. And he kind of looked at himself. You can almost see a little bit of pain in his eyes as he recounts his previous form, now as a little froggy. I was a Malison. Once upon a
Jen,
time.
you beat him. You beat him.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'll use my actor feat to turn into him before we traded. Changed him into a Grung to perfectly replicate what he looked like and sounded like.
And you should be able to see that picture.
Yep, that's me.
Yes. We then traveled with two other Malisons, quite different from myself. They had heads closer to the group of you, egg-shaped, no hair, 1T eyes, legs like yours, dotted with scales, but their arms, their beautiful arms, ended in the heads of vipers.
Oh shit. Okay. I'll try to play with it. like
There were-
this.
There were
Is it
two
like
of
this?
those. And he kind of looks at you. The arms, no elbows. It's serpents from the shoulders down.
Oh. Okay. Redashing.
Yes, that's closer. Another one like you.
I feel like
Ventus?
I could
Okay.
match whatever pretty well because I do illusions a lot. So I'll pick the one that has. Oh yeah, what the fuck?
Ew. 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 Gross.
I wish Thunder was that
Disgusting.
one.
No.
The next one. We had two. That the head is similar, egg-shaped, like a beautiful egg. But their arms and their hands are like yours. Long, with fingers, grappling fingers. However, from the chest down, beautiful, serpentine, powerful. No legs, no feet, but a magnificent tail.
Two of those?
Two of those, yes.
Hell seems pretty low.
Okay.
Well, got two of those guys and little snake arms like me, and I wave my snake arms. One more of me.
Inflatable
We had
tube.
an-
I'll turn into this thing.
We had one other, but I suppose we will have to say they died.
Yeah, I mean we're.
Yeah, it's
Do you
fine.
look normal?
I mean it makes sense that the whole party didn't survive, you know.
Yes.
What did he look like? Normal, like us, or weird, like you?
Withdraws, and you can tell that he is insulted as he licks his eye. We carried with us a mind whisperer. Very important to always carry a mind whisperer. They are one of the few Wanti to be able to tap into magics
I'll be that
to
one.
influence those around them.
I was gonna say we could probably lose one of these weird ones to keep the mind whisperer.
I'll be the mind whisperer. Because I can like at least cast magic to show that I can do magic as one, you know, just in case we have to.
Very similar to one of the Malicents.
I doubt we're gonna walk up. They're gonna be like, "Wait, are you a mind whisperer? Cast magic." But just in case something happens, I can at least cast
mind.
Wait a minute.
I believe that wise, yes.
Thunder, you should be the snaky looking one because you've been other animals, and I'll be the other, like human. and
Fine.
Jin.
The tail
With the,
is
with the
difficult.
arms, with the snake arms.
I saw Eileen. I think it's pronounced what? Giaz?
Geez.
Giz? I don't know if I'll have a chance to read it, but we could cast that on the Dragonborn.
It's so complicated, but yeah, use it. I
Complicated. It.
remember
Okay.
Andrew tried using it, and it was like, he did use it, I think. But, yeah.
Okay. If you want to use it, then I'll have it roll a wisdom saving throw to see if it resists the effects.
Can we punch him and it'll give him a disadvantage?
That's so crazy. He is bound.
He is bound, but it's all in the mind.
Yeah, that's
Wisdom.
why you punch him.
Bound his mind.
Easy
Yeah, he
peasy.
fails.
W.
All right. So
All
what's
right. You give a verbal command to a creature that you can see, ordering it to carry out some service or refrain from an action or a course of activity as you decide. You can issue any command you choose, short of an activity that would result in certain death. Should you issue a suicidal command, the spell ends.
You think
I look
something
back to
along
the
the
group,
lines of like,
and
pretend
I'm like,
to be
just
a captive adventurer or something like that, and see how far that gets us, or what?
I was just gonna say, go along with our gaslight.
didn't know to it. Or
What was that? You were breaking up.
Yeah, okay, it wasn't just me.
oh no.
You're good now.
No,
Can you hear me
you're
now?
good. Yeah.
Yeah, like make him pretend that he doesn't even know Raptua, right? Like
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
at least
I-
the city, like
I
that
look
will
at him
start.
and I look at him and I say, when you speak to Yanti, you forget your Yanti life, and you go along with our gaslighting.
Actually, I have a question. He wouldn't know how to speak Yanti, wouldn't he? He would be speaking Dragonborn.
Does he forget his old
Or
language?
would he? I don't know how that works.
I don't really know how that works, to be honest. Do
Scrolling
you
up.
Technically,
forget
should he
your
even
old?
learn?
He would understand. He would understand for sure at the very least, but not be able to speak it. Maybe.
Yeah.
I think it's just physical. I thought it was just a physical thing. Reincarnate.
I mean, if you
Yeah, I think-
reincarnated me, I would be still talking.
Retains, hold on,
whatever.
Right. It
think.
says the reincarnated creature makes any choices that a species description offers, and the creature recalls its former life. It retains the capabilities it's had in its original form, except it loses the traits of its previous species and gains the traits of the new one.
So he can still cast magic.
It retains the capabilities it had in its original form, except loses the traits its
What are-
previous species.
So-
The language of trait.
So the way that I read this is that basically, like for example, Wanti have poison immunity. He loses that racial. So any Wanti racials that he had, like features that he had, he now loses and gains those of his new ones. I think when it comes to language, because they retain all memories and like mental aspects, he would still, like you said, Wicco, I think he'd be able to hear and understand Wanti just fine. I think that he would know how to speak Wanti, like because he knows the language, but would have difficulty at first with like his new mouth, right?
Like
It'd be
he's just
broken.
taking Yanti 101.
Yeah, he'd be
Like
like
broken.
it'd be like really weird at first, and he'd have to like get used to the new muscles basically to be able to speak it. But I think that like in his, since it's a lot of it is mental, if he heard someone speak it, he surely would be able to
Figure it out
listen and
how to make it.
understand. Yeah,
Okay,
but he'd
so
have to
now
like
he has acid resistance instead of poison.
right, and
Kinda
has like a
close.
breath weapon.
Are we in our Yanti forms at the moment?
No.
Are we like?
I think
guess,
y'all are
just
practicing.
changed,
Yeah,
Yeah. Because I want him.
We're like doing our makeup.
yeah, testing out
yeah.
outfits.
True menagerie.
Well, once we figure out our physical form, then I'll like explain that if he speaks to any other Yanti other than the ones in
Mhm.
front of him,
Hmm.
he will not recall his previous Yanti life.
Okay.
And to go along with our gaslight.
Okay.
I mean, I think he just needs to be wiped out. Period. Right? Like,
Yeah.
Well, I don't think we
No.
have any way of doing it.
You want me to obliterate him?
Get his tongue.
no, I mean, like, tell him anybody. Why are we making it specific to
Well,
other Yanti? versus us?
Well,
Like,
because
let him just
he might need
try.
to like if we might have questions that he might be able to answer to help us later.
Will he be willing to?
Yeah, we don't need him talking to anybody, honestly. Anybody. Like, he won't talk
Your
to
command.
us.
You're not allowed to speak.
Yeah, just like that's the simplest thing we can get.
I mean, honestly, why not? Why not just that?
You are mute.
And at
Yeah,
what
he's
point is
still-
that going to like put his life in danger? You know what I mean? So like,
Okay.
that
You,
part's too far gone.
You watch as you meet his green eyes as you cast the spell. You can see a slight kind of fog behind them as you issue your orders. And as you finish issuing the orders, you are now mute. You watch as his eyes glow slightly, and then the light disappears and he returns to normal, now under the effect of your enchantment.
I like how I was like writing out all like how complicated the spell is gonna be, and then at the very end I'm just like mute.
Mute. No talkie. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, tomorrow we go in with this guy acting like we found him, got in a fight, somebody died. We try to like pawn him off and get rest inside before we go back out again, is what we tell him, and then go up in the sewer.
It just kind of sucks because
Right.
it's about a whole last year.
Oh man.
That's brutal.
And the Grung kind of looks to the group of you and says, "And what of me?"
You just be in the hole or in the bag of holding
Yeah.
one
Yeah,
or the other.
we'll keep you in the hole.
Keep you in the hole.
We'll get you out when we get in the sewer. Or
Or
I mean,
we'll
yeah,
find a
what about the
safe place
sewer?
to bring you out, and then you lead us to the sewer.
Couldn't Halbjorn enchant him to look like a Yunti?
yeah, but he already mentioned that.
Yeah, the
just
magic
even
thing.
Of course, it's not the prisoner. They touch the prisoner, they might not touch him.
But I mean, but then he could, I don't know, potentially hurt, like sabotage our plan or something.
Yeah.
He's staying in the hole.
No offense.
Well, I mean,
No
but then
offense.
you at any point could just remove the illusion, and now he's just a Grung in the city. What is he gonna do?
Yeah, but then they'll just like kill all of us. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, he can like rat us out before he
We
does.
probably don't have to risk it.
it's that. It's not
As
even.
long
That's
as we
what I
can,
mean.
like-
Like, we just put him in the hole and don't have to worry.
Yeah.
About it.
Yeah,
we
he
just-
licks his eye.
get him out of the hole.
I will go in the hole.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah.
We can
I'll-
illusion him when we're inside and we bring him out, and we're not gonna get like touched or whatever.
Yeah, true that. Like, get up in the sewers and all that. Like that whole part. We'll get inside. We'll sneak it around to a sewer. Get in it as soon as possible.
He nods.
I'm going to bed.
Okay. The group of you settle for the night. And nothing significant happened during your rest. Halbjorn, you set up your alarms. And none of them are tripped by a deer this time. You're able to sleep through the night. Thunder, you once again have a dream of your giant spider friend watching you and calling out to you as the two of you share a slight conversation until you're able to roll back into bed. Do you remember what he tells you?
I'm getting close to what he misses most.
Oh, yep. And he gives his piece and then lets you sleep. And then the morning comes, and the group of you wake up in the jungles of Reptua. And if y'all are ready, you can proceed to the city.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah, wait, check with the Grung first to make sure we're looking
Yeah.
good.
The Grung kind of crawls up and into the hole as he knows that y'all are quite close to the city. And you put out your fire, kind of bury your campsite for the night, and proceed forward. Dar's allure becomes visible to the group of you as you proceed. And it won't take long, maybe half a day or so, until you reach the kind of outside edge of the city. You would be able to see it as a massive city resting on the top of a waterfall, exactly described by the Grung. You can see as the river free floats through the city itself and then cascades on one end, kind of showing a beautiful panorama as it looks over the jungles beneath it. You would be also able to see in the distance the Sun Gate, kind of in the center viaduct leading into the city. The road that the Sun Gate entries onto basically follows the bank of the River Cessna as it flows into the city with the people. It is, as much as you hate to admit it, a beautiful golden sight as the city rises out of the jungle. It is probably the most impressive thing you've ever seen constructed by the Yuan-ti. A city over 1,000 years old, still standing proudly in the jungle. And the group of you are perhaps an hour's journey away from it. You're still pretty easily hidden in the jungle as you kind of regather the game plan moving forward. You also, for the very first time since being really here in Raptua, would be able to see not only the evidence of Yuan-ti civilization, but evidence of Yuan-ti themselves. You would be able to see Yuan-ti walking down the road leading into the Golden City. You'd be able to see Yuan-ti guards walking up and down the road. You can see that the road stretches and turns, kind of following the river until there's a large bridge that heads over, your assumption being to probably another city of some sort. But it would be the first time since you've been here in Raptua that you see kind of the common Yuan-ti instead of a soldier or a warrior. These are just Yuan-ti civilians.
We still hate them, right?
Yeah, we still hate them. I definitely think, Jin, you should take the lead since you're kind of good at lying.
And I'm also like, look like the guy. The guy who's the grung now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so I guess we just need to wait. Well, we're going to the back of this place, right?
Yeah, Moongate, right?
And we need to wait for if there's a road going to it. We need to make sure it's clear before we jump out onto the road and start approaching. We'll jump out when there's like a civilian walking by and just like, hey.
Right. And the moon gate, if you remember, is only open after the sun falls. So you'll also have to wait a little bit of time if you want to use that gate.
Oh yeah.
Well, did we want to use it? Is this a military thing? What we're doing currently? I guess so, right?
Yeah, we have like a
Open up the whole Grok. Did y'all go back through your group? Did y'all go back through the Sun Gate or the Moon Gate when y'all were going to be done?
And he kind of looks up at you from the bottom of the hole. You are impersonating military personnel. You are welcome to use either gate, but the Sun Gate certainly has more attention drawn to it.
Moon Gate it is.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
And how do the group of you pass the time as you wait in the jungles?
Incognito.
Definitely do super robot.
You're drowning, Waco. Well, that was really good. Wow, impressive.
I pull out 5 D20s and I roll them on the dirt.
Yeah, we play D&D. Alright.
I roll my
Let's
bones.
pretend to be humans in Malnova.
That's funny.
Do you hear a noise? What do you do?
Yeah, so the group of you just pass the time. Nothing special.
Definitely smoke my pipe and share some with Jim.
Smoking pipe.
Do we hang out in the hole a bit?
Hang out in the hole. Escape the jungle sun.
I kind of miss the chingwas.
Like we just
so
hang
I'm
out in
kind
there
of
where there's a dragonborn bound and gagged in the corner.
Every now and then I look into the forest and like if I have any spare wild berries, which I normally do because I get 10, and our party's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 with the 2 new guys. So I'll throw like the extra 2 wild berries randomly in the forest as we walk, just thinking of the chingwas.
Yeah, I'd want for you to roll me a nature check as you do so. Yeah, I think that you would be able to kind of put together the fact that as the group of you are getting closer to the Yuan-ti society, to their cities, you have you have encountered the Chingwas less and less, and you're beginning to wonder if that's a coincidence or not.
I kind of miss them.
And as you kind of come to that realization, as you're kind of tossing good berries out into the jungle, you see movement beneath the fern fronds, and you would see the unmistakable look of a snake slithering through the grass as the scales kind of shine in the sunlight.
Yeah, I cast Speak with Animals from my ring of animal influence. And I say, hello, snake.
And you can hear the snake hiss back at you. Intruders! Intruders!
Just a regular snake.
Must be alarmed.
I'd leap at the snake.
You're gonna have to run a little bit from the camp, because the
fine.
snake is moving as fast as it can. But you
Snake.
You sprint out into the jungle and catch up with the snake that is slithering in your opposite direction towards the city.
Yeah.
And so what do you do?
Whip it.
I go to capture, I go to grab it.
And the snake rears its head at you, ready to strike.
Yeah, I commit. I don't want the snake to leave.
Okay. The snake is gonna try to bite you.
Okay.
As you grab it.
We can't hear you, Wicca. You're muted. Unmute yourself.
Damn it!
Damn it!
Damn it, I muted myself.
I said cats are way faster than snakes. Damn it.
Yeah.
Get him.
Does an 18 hit?
Yeah.
And it's gonna sink its fangs into you as you take 6 damage. And you're gonna take an additional 7 poison damage as it launches itself into your arm. And you can hear it just continuing to scream at you, "Intruders! Intruders!"
Yeah, well, he bit onto me, so I wrap my hand around its mouth. I mean, I attempt to pull him off my arm and then just hold his mouth shut.
Okay, go ahead and give me a strength saving throw. What is the group of you doing as you see Thunder run off grabbing a snake?
I just kind of watch him.
Oh,
and let him
yeah,
do his thing.
I'll follow that.
He seems like he's has it taken care of.
I don't think a cat can handle a snake.
And
that's help.
yeah, I need a strength.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Jen, you
my
would wander over and see what's up.
Saving or ability?
Saving throw.
I have experience of getting poisoned from traps and stuff, so I know how dangerous that
Little cat boy.
And you're trying to yank off the snake who has a thick bite into your arm. You are unable to get it off of you. And it's kind of beginning to coil around your arm.
I make my way back to the group, and I'm just like, help.
Get in the hole first. Get in the hole.
Yeah, jump in the hole.
And you lift the snake, and the group of you can see it's a decent-sized snake that has begun to wrap itself around Thunder's arm with its fangs digging deep into his flesh. And the Grung, who's down in the hole, also sees it and says, "There are spies all throughout the jungles. All snakes are servants of Nazoth."
Do you think we can reincarnate the snake?
I can turn us all into a snake. I have that ability.
And he kind of shakes his head. "No, this is a simple beast."
Alright, so just kill it.
Yeah.
And the Grung kind of turns away. "Cannot watch."
Oh.
Well,
I have
you're a
animal
frog
shapes.
Now, okay, you can watch.
He's still an amphibian brother.
Yeah,
I will
and
always
bet you
be
this
a child
amphibian
of
brother
Nazoth.
would not hesitate at all to try to kill you, Grug. Just saying.
He looks away.
I mean, I'm saying we could have tried to reincarnate it as a pigeon or something.
I don't have
To
reincarnate.
what end?
You got animal
Oh,
shapes,
what
so-
is? All right, Thunder.
So he doesn't
or anyone
die,
else. How
but
do
he
you
can't tell anybody about us.
how do you deal with it?
I'll try and cut it off. Thunder's arm.
I mean, it's just
Okay.
just doing its job.
Roll an attack.
Yeah, but it has
For
to
the
die.
Nazis,
Yeah, exactly.
Are they Nazis?
basically.
I'd have my
I bite it
katana.
back.
I'd have my katana in my inventory, so I'm just gonna roll the leash blade, but it's the katana.
Okay.
Before it dies from this attack, I do bite it back.
To establish dominance.
Yes.
You
In its eye.
You kind of you take a bite out of it, and then Ventus, you take your katana and just kind of cut its head off. You can feel immediately, Thunder, the muscles wrapping around you begin to loosen as you kind of slide it off your arm, and the dead snake drops to the ground.
Alright, well, let's just stay in the damn hole until it's time to go.
We got me, boys.
And
Wait,
let's
check
keep our
your-
disguises on just in case.
Thunder, are you poisoned? Are you gonna be compromised from that?
I'm gonna cast Lesser Restoration on myself.
Like, Halbert, is there a way to check or?
He can't. He's not gonna get a black broth brew from a snake bite. No.
I'm poisoned, right? Or is it
No,
poison
you just
damage?
took poison damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
The way the black broth works is you can't just a snake bite's not gonna cause that. He's fine.
It's actual drink.
And
There's a whole process too. It's not just give a drink.
the group of you wait, and you watch the sun begin to fall over Darzalur, and after several hours, the entire jungle is set in sunset, and it is beautiful. Golden light flooding outwards, covering the jungles. But then, darkness falls, as it's now nighttime. You can see that the foot traffic and just the level of activity outside of the city falls drastically with the sun setting. It's kind of like the Grung described to you. The Wanti are much more sensitive to the day and night cycle. They almost get their energy from the sun, like a reptile would basking in the warmth. So after the sun falls, they are much less active, and the roads would reflect that.
And
So
like,
we
what time
continue.
is it when we're approaching?
Now that the sun has fallen, it's probably like 8 p.m. or so.
I mean, nothing but to do it, right? I want to get out of this
That's what
hole.
I'm saying.
Let's
Let's do it.
Yeah,
Side
the,
note, unrelated to this, but Luca bought all of the parking at the Lakers game and put up a free parking sign for all of the fans to come to the game to watch them play against the Mavericks tonight.
That's so awesome.
What does that have to do with D&D, Jacob?
That's why it says unrelated.
Nothing. You could have typed that out. Taking up our time. Yes, DM?
So,
Luka Doncic is popular.
Man, why don't you
Yeah.
sleep through another session?
so the group of you, what are you doing next?
Asshole. I'm not getting out of the hole because I don't want to get bit again. I hate getting bit. Everyone bites me. I'm staying in the hole.
And yeah, it's 8 p.m. now. So the group of you are bathed in moonlight as you begin to retreat from the hole.
How far away from the moon gate?
Probably about like an hour or so.
Okay, I guess we're just watching for a good time to enter the path.
Yeah, the path is pretty dead. Like I said, there's really not many people walking on it, so it's not hard at all to find a moment where there's quite a bit of break in traffic that the group of you can kind of slide out into as you equip your bowler hats and assume the Wanti forms that you previously agreed to. And the group of you would follow the road, and as you approach the Sun Gate and kind of see the guards marked upon it, you can see a smaller road that reaches out and around the wall of the Sun Gate. And after about 15 minutes or so of traveling kind of around the city walls, it would bring you then to the Moon Gate. And so once here, you can see that there are guards positioned like how described by the Grung. There are 2 1T stationed on the ground in front of the gate entrance, as well as 2 1T on each rampart looking down. You can see that they have heavy crossbows equipped and kind of watch the group of you as you approach the gate. Standing above the entryway here is one other 1T. You can see that it's standing in front of a small opening, what was marked as the Sky Gate, also equipping a crossbow. And the group of you are maybe 50 yards away or so from the gate itself, before approaching it.
And so we've got everything set up. The bronze dragonkin tied up and on display.
Yeah, we can say that you pulled it out from the hole previously, so it's just kind of shuffling behind you, gagged and bound.
And I look around. I'm like, everyone ready?
Give one nod.
Let's do it.
And the group of you slowly approach the gate. As you approach the gate, one of the 1T standing guard in front of it kind of moves over to kind of obstruct your direction forward, to stand in front of you and the gate. He does so slightly lazily as he just kind of walks over. You can see that as the group of you approach, the other guard takes out a large contraption, maybe the size of like a paper towel roll in the middle. You can see it's like a bronze type device that has a series of sliders on it with runes that can be turned in different directions, kind of like the locks on like on specific padlocks. It would remind you of that. And the 1T speaks out to, I suppose, Eugen, who is leading the group, and says, "Name and unit number."
I feel like the Grung would have told us this information if this was normal.
I just shove forward the bronze dragon. Can I say, "We've come back successful, brothers," and I flick out my tongue.
And you can see both of the 1T kind of look at the Dragonborn that got shoved up front as both of them extend their tongues out. The 1T that's holding the Rolodex type device kind of lowers it and gives a look to the 1T standing in front of the gateway. "What is this?" You can see him looking kind of up and down the Dragonborn. And anyone that's proficient in insight can roll me an insight check.
I don't think that's.
Ugh.
Wait, yeah.
It didn't even roll.
It just stayed that over.
It pretty much did. It rolled like one thing over.
Halbjorn, you, Jin, and Ventus would kind of exchange glances as you realize these 1T have no idea what they're looking at. They've never seen a Dragonborn before, much less ever heard of one.
And I tell them, the mission. We were told to go out and find any outsiders. I've never seen anyone like this before.
I give him a nod, like, I don't know what this thing is.
Another
I
tongue
give
extension.
a little shrug and a tongue extension.
And the 1T takes a step forward, and you can tell a difference in body language as it extends its tongue out, this time not as a way to communicate with the group of you, but to smell the air around this Dragonborn, to get a good whiff of him as he kind of steps around. And he takes the end of his atlatl and kind of shoves it against its chest, rocking him backwards slightly from the impact. Not painfully, but like a pretty good amount of force.
I'm like, yeah, he smells so strange, doesn't he?
This is a strange creature.
We caught him
Native.
about 5 clicks west. This was the only survivor. We killed the rest.
Well, there are others like him.
Many.
He's continuing to kind of look up and down him.
About 5 others.
And go ahead and roll a deception check for me, Jen.
Easy.
As you begin to lie through your teeth.
Lie through your fangs.
Lie through your fangs, sorry. Wow, excellent roll. Yeah, the two 1T guards kind of look between each other and say, This is quite a discovery. Does it... And he kind of looks at you. Does it speak?
That's the craziest part. It's a madman. It's the reason we kept it alive. Kept insisting that he was a Yanti. So we just gagged him and brought him here.
He's mute.
Oh, he's mute? No. Okay, he's mute. Never mind.
He
Take it back.
he kind of flicks the tongue out, and you can see him eyeing the body. Does it bleed?
Oh shit.
And I take out my dagger and I stab him. Just like a little bit.
And you watch as the Dragonborn winces and kind of collapses a little bit, just from the shock of pain.
Like I get it under one of the scales and then I pull it out and show him the tip of the dagger to be bloody.
And you watch the Yuan-Ti kind of nod affirmingly. Very good. Very good. Well. And he turns to the one with the Rolodex. This seems above our responsibility. And the one with the Rolodex nods. Yes. I believe the court would wish to see this. Yes, yes. Okay, well, please, proceed. And he steps out of the way and allows you into Dar's Allure.
And I flick my tongue at them.
They flick it back. And the group of you head into the city proper. You would find when you enter the city itself, it doesn't feel all that dissimilar from the conquered Grand City. The way that it's kind of like structured, the way that it's built up. You would find yourself on a grand via, a road that stretches for miles inward. And then cascading off of it, almost like a river, are different smaller alleyways and streets that you would be able to find cover in. As it's at nighttime with the sun fallen, there really isn't that much activity going on right now. It's not very bustling. A Yuan-Ti here or there, but you can imagine what this area of the city would look like whenever you are here in the daytime and they are fueled by the warmth of the sun.
Sneak over to the alley.
Is it just like, are we just walking through the city with the Dragonborn?
Yeah, you just kind of have him.
But like no one else is with us? They're not escorting us or anything?
No, you are not being escorted by these guards.
Well then at this point, let's just go to the fucking sewer and who cares about whatever.
Or go to an alley, go into the hole, and have the Grung guide us to the sewer.
Right. But I'm saying like we can keep the Dragonborn with us for now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think there's a reason to kill him just yet. And
yeah, get off the beaten path, look for a sewer.
We should swap them out. We should swap out this guy for the Grung, and then we'll pretend like the Grung is our captive, and the Grung will just lead us to the sewer, just in case another Yuan-Ti comes up.
I cast Cure Wounds on the Dragonborn.
You watch as the wound kind of seals up slightly. And the group of you quickly shuffle over to a small alleyway in between two buildings as you expose the hole and bring the Grung out and store the Dragonborn, still bound and gagged, down into the hole. And the Grung kind of takes a look around and says, "Wow, I kind of can't believe we're here."
Why not?
Darzalora is not an easy city to break into.
It was kind of easy to break into.
Yeah, we all laugh.
Take us to the sewer.
The Grung nods. Yes, we're in an area of the city known as the Invisible District. And he's kind of talking and walking as he leads you further down the alley, as he's talking over his shoulder. It's especially well known in Darzalore. Things go missing here all the time. Stolen, misplaced, moved, mostly stolen. But there's not a lot of crime in 1T. It's very strange, which is why we call it the Invisible District. You will have things that go invisible here. And he leads you, maybe for another like 5 minutes or so, as he brings you to a small, like cul-de-sac, I guess, end of an alleyway. And he brings you here to show you a large sewer grate. And he kind of tries to grab at it and lift it, but with his little froggy hands, he's not strong enough. So he kind of pulls back and looks at the group of you.
Yeah, my knuckles, and I don't know why my sheet doesn't have my athletics as proficient.
I'll change that.
I only have 2, perception and history, but I should have full.
Yeah.
Wait. I'll strength on that thing.
Yeah, you kind of lean down, Fail, and grab the grates of the sewer as you pull it up. And admittedly, it is you recognize the heft of it. Obviously, it's no problem for you, but you could see why just a regular 1T or human could not access this sewer. And you slowly drag off the cap to it and reveal a like 5 foot by 5 foot hole that leads directly downwards.
David, I cast augury.
Okay.
And I whisper to a large and I say, "What's gonna happen?"
You receive an omen from an otherworldly entity about the results of a course of action that you plan to take within the next 30 minutes. The DM chooses an omen. So is the action descending into the sewers?
The action is... Yes.
Okay. I don't know how to like communicate this omen.
Yeah, it's called a challenge, David.
I grab like a pebble or a piece of loose rubble or something, and I cast light on it with my hat of wizardry, and then drop it down the hole.
Perfect. Yeah. As you drop it, you Thunder watch the sewer entry be washed in kind of a bluish white light, and as it does so, it kind of fills you with a similar warmth. And I think that you would be able to read this as an omen of weal, a good omen.
So what did it hit?
Good.
The stone? No.
Oh, the stone
that you dropped.
The stone, the group of you watch, it descends about 10 feet or so, and then there's a slight splash as it falls into water below it.
I didn't quit.
Yeah, we gotta close this grate on top of us. Yeah, after I see that, I hop down.
Okay, the Grung hops in.
Oh shit, wrong one.
And as I get down there, I will cast the dancing lights to light up the sewer.
Perfect.
But I won't go around any corners with them, because just in case there's something around a corner.
Yeah, going last and trying to quietly drag this grate back on top.
Yeah. You drag it on top, and the group of you have successfully entered Darzalore. It's funny because you described how easy it feels for your characters to have gotten into this city, but what you had to do it, almost most characters would not be able to do. I think it's a testament to how strong your characters are. It just took a casual 30 deception check and and having magical items that allow you to transform into a species and
Mage Hand to
28
pick the pebble up out of the water because I don't want to touch it, and then I hand it to Fail.
And
it's got light on it still, and I don't want it to be hanging out.
I'm just holding it. Ladle in one hand, little pebble in the other.
And it illuminates your path as the group of you press forward. The Grung kind of turns around and says, "Now, the path is unclear. We will have to explore a way. I've never been here before." As he kind of looks around at the sewers.
Well, from where we came in, that direction is towards the center, right? Or
right.
Left and...
It should follow the roads, so I will try to recount what I remember of the roads. And together, the group of you press forward.
Is it filled with water, or is it like the image right now? It's like still walkable.
Yeah, it's like the image here. There are some areas that would be deeper than others, just depended on usage, but it's not like flowing water per se. You know what I mean?
Okay. I still cast Water Walk, and then whoever else would like that.
Okay.
Ooh, me.
I'm on my broom.
And
I'll take the Water Walk just to try it out.
just see how it feels.
I can press vegetation and clean stuff, so.
Nice.
I'm trudging through it, and I'm like, how much Water Walk you got over there, buddy?
Splash some water towards Hobjorn while he's on the broom.
Richie. And the group of you continue down into the sewers. After about 2 hours, the group of you have wandered pretty deep into the sewer system. What you have discovered from the Grung, and I guess through your own self-discovery, is that the sewer networks don't perfectly match the road network above. And that's what's creating problems. The main roads follow, but the arterial roads are not matched by the sewers. So it requires quite a bit of doubling back to be able to try to find your way to what would be called the city center, right? And as you're doing so, you can see that there are many dead ends to a lot of these sewer networks where certain parts of the city, you're guessing due to like wealth, affluence, aren't even covered by the sewer network. You learn that sewer access seems to be a commodity, not a right, which also complicates things even further. And after exploring, like I said, for about 2 hours, the group of you would come across something that you haven't seen in the past 2 hours. Built into the stone walls that you can kind of see here that line the sewer network, it would be what appears to be kind of a newer excavation. New stone that has been inlaid into the sewer network. And this new stone, you can see, would be outlining the presence of a wooden door.
Oh.
Check for traps.
Yeah, I will. Check the door for traps.
You would, yeah, sure. Go to a sleight of hand check an investigation check for us as you approach the door, Jen. And you softly test it, kind of applying pressure to the mechanism, checking for any tripwire, and you can confidently say that the door is not trapped, however, it is locked.
I will try picking the lock.
Okay. And we're going to sleight of hand check for us. And thanks to your expertise,
Jesus,
that 6 means nothing. As you take out your lock picking kit and begin to slide the tumblers underneath the mechanism, and you make short work of this lock, which you, I think, would be able to observe from your own skill in this, that this is not an easy lock. Whoever locked this door put a lot of resources and craftsmanship into making sure that this door stays locked. But alas,
And yet they still failed.
No challenge for a master thief. And
Nope.
the door slides open.
Nice.
Prime.
Does Grung know the way past this point?
No, Grung is unaware of this door.
All right, I think we should just go.
I mean, yeah.
And the group of you head down a long hallway. It is lit by torchlight with sconces, kind of like you can see here in this image. And after a couple minutes of walking down this long stone hallway, you would find yourself in a small room like this. The room itself, you can tell, is definitely carved out of the stone wall, out of the stone itself, and inset into the walls are multiple series of bookshelves. You can see that a crude fireplace is installed at one end, as well as a large table that has several books overlaid on it, as well as misshapen papers and disorganized studies. And you would see in this chamber a robed figure with its back to you that is kind of slowly pulling out books from the bookshelf. And this figure wouldn't be aware of your presence. You're perhaps maybe 30 feet or so away from the figure.
Guys, what do we do?
Kill it. Him?
Okay, I'll
Are
silently
we still young team?
approach.
We're still young team.
Yeah, Jin goes in.
Yeah, you're still one team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll silently approach.
Do I hit him?
Go and roll a stealth check as you begin to silently close the distance.
Since I'm moving so slowly, I'm only using half my movement, right? So I would take advantage.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Oh my god.
Doesn't even matter.
Doesn't even matter. And you silently, slowly cross the width of the room, as you are now maybe 15 feet or so away from the figure, who is still just kind of slowly pulling books out from the shelf, making a neat little stack.
And can I get, like, as I approach, can I get any better sense of, like, who they may be or how threatening?
No, their back is kind of to you. I mean, they don't look armed. They're just kind of wearing robes. So either there's like a concealed weapon, but definitely no armor.
And how alone are we other than that?
Very alone. The tunnel ends like you see here.
Yeah, I'll sneak up behind him and choke him out.
You silently cross the rest of the distance and reach your arm up and around the individual's neck, kind of closing out the pressure. And as you do so, the hood of the robes that this figure is wearing kind of falls backwards, and you reveal a heavily haired individual. Long brown hair kind of falls over your arm.
What?
And you realize that you now have a human in a chokehold.
I'll release them from the chokehold.
And as you release them from the chokehold and kind of push them a little distance away from you, they turn to fully face you. And you can see that this human has a large scar across their cheek, a fresh scar. Their beard is long and shaggy, with a large silver streak running through it. And the same with their hair. It is unkept and unwell. And you can see that this human looks incredibly tired, wearied. And as the two of you make eye contact, you would realize, Jen, that you are face to face with the Archmage.
Archmage?
What?
The fuck?
And I
You
take off my
compromise?
bowler hat.
Archmage?
And as you look into his eyes, Jen, they're the same baby blue that you have always seen. There's no hint of compromise. And the Archmage looks at you after a moment and kind of lowers his brow and says to you, "Who are you? How did you get here?"
Did you say who am I?
Yes, who are you?
Even though I look like Jen, he's asking that.
Yeah, you slowly remove the bowler, exposing your true self. But you can see that to this individual, it makes no difference. They look just as puzzled as they were. I don't understand. Who?
Archmage?
I go up to Jin and to like look at the guy and to make sure Jin's not hallucinating or something. And make sure that this guy's actually the Archmage.
Yeah, it like I said, it looks like him, but with his like he hasn't shaved in months, hasn't gotten a haircut in months. His eyes are sunken and tired. There's, like I said, a large scar across his face.
Did the Archmage have a scar on his face?
He said it was fresh.
I'm gonna gamble and I'm gonna cast Dispel Magic at a 6th level spell.
And what does it look like as you cast it, Thunder?
I feel as if my hand's on his forehead, and almost from my hand, he's almost lightly covered in a light shade of green. And visually, it looks like it's peeling away, as if it's peeling away whatever might be on him.
Right.
Pore strip.
Whether something's on him or not, that's the visual look of it.
Yeah, it kind of does like a cleanse. And you watch as it attempts to shed any magic that might be inflicting him. But to your disappointment, there's nothing stripped.
Damn.
And he shakes his head and says, I don't understand. You seem to know who I am, but I don't know who you are.
We tell our whole
Pull out
story.
my stone. And
No, tell him, why is he here? Why?
Address the Archmage.
Yeah.
And the group of you are all together now at this point. Unrevealed, without your bowler hats, standing with him in this small room. And Halbjorn, you take out your stone.
Yeah, and I reach out to the Archmage.
And after a few moments, you hear kind of a hissing noise as the connection is made from your speaking stone. Hello? Halbjorn? Is everything okay?
No.
No. We're looking at
And
you right now.
Or your twin brother.
The Archmage here in the cell with you looks at the stone and says under his voice, "Oh my god." And then he looks at the group of you. You can hang that up. I can explain everything.
What if he's compromised?
What if the other
I'm thinking
Archmage
he
is
might be, and I put him back into a chokehold.
But what if the other Archmage is compromised and this was a real one?
No!
We just fucking helped
No, that's what I'm saying. The one in the rock.
No.
Yeah, you just let them know that we're here.
No, it's okay. I can explain everything, please.
Hang up.
Hang up.
Someone-
Okay.
I'm going to the door just to make sure.
You just stop talking.
You have to physically make the
End call.
sound.
You have to make the sound.
Yeah.
You have the music button.
And he struggles to
Over.
speak through the through the chokehold. And please, I can explain everything if you just give me a chance. I understand what's happened here.
2 seconds ago, you didn't know anything. So what's the deal?
Please release me. I can hardly breathe.
You want a 6th level spell?
You got some explaining to do.
I punch him in the face.
You watch as his eye begins to welt up, and he just kind of nods and says, please, there's a very good explanation for all of this.
I mean, we're gonna hear him out. Let's just let him go. He can't fight us anyways.
And to Do you release him, Jen?
Yeah.
And he kind of falls a little bit and grabs at his neck and takes some deep breaths.
Kick him in the gut. No, I don't. I don't.
I was just about to say I punch him in the face.
And he kind of gestures to the stony floor and says, "I've not provided any seating arrangements, so please feel free to sit on the floor with me."
I lay down on my broom.
And he sits down.
I lean on the bookshelf like a cool guy.
Okay.
Flip a coin.
So, there's obviously a lot to explain here. But first, I just want to know your names.
No.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, that's weird. No.
The
Fine.
names have nothing to do with anything.
Fine.
We're the Diamond Dragons.
The diamond, I like the way that sounds. Well, as you know, I am the Archmage of Grand City. The true Archmage of Grand City. Many months ago, perhaps 6 to 7 months ago, an event occurred at my college in Grand City. I was in my office late at night per usual when there was a disturbance deep within the college in one of our arcane basements.
I slowly slide into the shadows as he tells the story.
I don't know the exact details of what happened, at least not at that time, but our college was shortly overrun, invaded from the inside by these, well, I'm sure you know of them, you would disguise them as the Wanti. Now, in that moment, I of course was taken by surprise, and I was taken hostage, captive, whatever you want to call it. But I am an Archmage. A powerful Archmage. And he kind of points to the stone. I left in my absence as a preparatory measure. I had it there for quite some time, never really thinking it would be necessary to use. You have been working with my simulacrum.
I feel better.
Oh,
I genuinely
This
thought
whole
we
time?
fucking just talked to the damn Yanti saying that, hey, we're here because we fucking found the real one.
Or that my thought was that the Archmage has been leading us on this whole time and like feeding them information on the war.
I know I was about to be so mad if I got duped twice.
I left.
So they just here?
Well, yes, that's a much longer story that I'm happy to get into, but I at least want to explain why I am here. I'm a prisoner.
But why do you look exactly like the Archmage?
He kind of cocks his head.
He is
Well,
the
he
Archmage.
is.
This the one we've
Or
been
like
talking
him,
to.
like
is
what he-
Simulacrum.
Sorry, I was joking.
Oh. He laughs.
So
Well,
why
wait,
can't
you said- you
just
said-
leave? You're powerful. You can just teleport away.
Well, it's not that easy. One, they have stripped me of my spellbook. Two, I have been, whenever they took me, they brought me back here to Darzalor. You rolled a wisdom or an insight check?
Yeah. Do I believe him?
Yes, you do. I think that you would, with that kind of insight, you would be able to feel the pain in his voice.
Okay.
So as powerful as I am, unfortunately am bound by the absence of an object most dear to me.
So, does that mean the whole plan to do a suicide mission was not your idea?
And
Well, I mean, it was just
the true
crack on
Archmage kind of looks at you and says, "Whatever you are doing, why ever you are here, whatever is happening in Malnova, I am absolutely and completely unaware.
Do you have
That's
a
not
pet
good.
spider?
Hey, you know what, guys? I don't care
Your
at all if
simulacrum's
Archmage
doing a
dies
lot.
trying to take back Grand City now.
Yeah, but he's leading
Yeah,
all our
we're-
forces when they shouldn't do it.
Why?
My
He's still him. It's still his. It's still him.
Yeah, he's still got the same instincts, right? Like his
My
same-
It's not just him.
My simulacrum possesses all of the same intellect and wisdom that I do.
And spells and everything.
It's like Shadow Clone Jutsu.
There is almost no doubt that, if presented with the same set of opportunities and information, I would make and come to the same conclusion my simulacrum did.
If he dies,
so what
you
did you say is binding you
get all his
here?
memories.
Yes, please let me continue. So, when I was taken here to the city, I noticeably was kept alive. All of the other captives taken in that very first invasion, the first raid into Grand City, were either, it appears as though, transformed or outright killed. However, that was not the case for me. I haven't been here, and he kind of gestures to the cell, for very long. This is a new development that we'll get to. I was kept in a tower in the city, but in a library somewhat similar to this, which I found even more stupefying. I really couldn't understand why I was being kept as a prisoner of war in, I must admit, not so undecent conditions. They really asked nothing of me for maybe 2 months, just keeping me alive. And he kind of shows the scar in his cheek. It's not to say that everything was fine. They seemed to take an immense amount of pleasure torturing me and just inflicting pain to see how a human bleeds. But that's another story. However, perhaps 2 months or so ago, 3 months or so ago, they requested a project of me. And I began to realize why they had kept me alive for so long. It seems clear to me that in the Wanti culture, that... yes, what's your investigation check?
While he's talking, I'm rifling through books trying to find either a blank book or a book with several blank pages on it.
Yeah, I think you'd be able to find one. Maybe not blank, but like they've become so faded that the ink has essentially wiped away, you know? Because some of these are pretty dusty and pretty old.
Okay, and I'm going to side by side while he's talking. I'm just doing this like on the floor. I'm gonna open up one of my spell book and start copying something over.
Okay, sure. And he's going to continue. It became apparent to me that the Wanti, as powerful and cunning as they are not adept spellcasters. They do not have a culture or a connection to the weave as we do. I think it's because they lack a connection to Aiden and to Elargian, who are our main benefactors of magic. But I digress.
When he says Elargian, I point up to the sky. Like, yeah.
Upon this realization,
exactly.
I got the request for my work here. They commanded me to begin constructing the basis for a new waygate.
Which you're not.
And you were gonna do it?
Where does it go?
Well,
what is
that's
binding
where
you
do they
here?
want it to go?
And
he has those spells.
And yeah, he kind of raises his hands and says, "I'm under constant surveillance. I have no magic. I'm a man."
And so I shoved the book over to him, and I copied down the teleport spell.
And
I'm like, you can use this and go to Long Rest or Von Rieg right now.
And he closes the book and says, "I can't yet. I'm too close. Please."
What?
No,
Let
we
me
don't
explain.
Want the gate.
And he kind of throws the book down and says, "You need the gate. Let me finish.
You
please."
can't handle the gate.
And he says, they have surrendered all of this knowledge to me. forcing me to build this gate. I have prolonged and delayed the gate as long as I can. And he walks over to another side of the room, pulling down a large curtain. And you can see that where the curtain stood is a kind of small, maybe a 5 foot tall, kind of crude looking way gate. This is what I'm allowed to experiment on. Now please, I'm not finished yet. That was my command. My life for constructing a way gate that they could then place elsewhere in Malnova as a second bridge point to the continent, a second point of invasion. Now, I have, in exchange, they surrendered all of this knowledge to me to discover and basically invent a way for the Waygate to work, and in doing so, I have become close to creating a backport to understanding the magical technology. And there's something very important that I have discovered, and that's why I can't leave now, because I'm too close to discovering it.
Discovering what?
And he kind of points to you. Exactly. So, there's some history, but for context for all of this. And he kind of gestures to the books. The Yuan Ti have an incredible talent for recording their history. It dates back to their very beginning, and I've read all of it. Yuan Ti have had these gates here for nearly a millennia. Their culture and society dates back a little over 1,000 years. And what I have found from these recordings, from these documents, and he kind of cuts himself off. You can tell his brain is kind of scrambling. In Malnova, we know that our first people sailed across the ocean to find our continent and fill it. That is how they discovered Aden and Elargian and Balma and Mothra. Those people sailed from somewhere that we have never known of. And he kind of gestures all around you. We are in the cradle of humanity. This is where they sailed from. Humans are Reptuans. And it's all here.
Reptune.
It's in this history. The first humans rose here in this very city. They discovered a grand serpent deep in the jungles. A totem animal, N'Zoth. Their society, it fractured. A group of people wishing to worship the serpent, she promised them power and wealth and influence and anything a man could want. And a portion of that population believed her and wanted to follow her and let them guide her. But there was a group of humans who did not, who rejected the ways of this temptress snake deep in the jungles. And it reached such a boiling point here that those humans who wished not to continue with N'Zoth, they left. They left Raptu altogether. They sailed away and found Malnova. But these peoples were still wanting to be connected. They just had a difference in how to continue. So when they reached Malnova and connection continued forth, N'Zoth, presumably, I'm guessing, introduced the Waygate technology to the N'Zoth humans here in Raptua, who then carried that message to the Malnovan humans in what would become Grand City. They built a single Waygate in Malnova, which allowed the two societies to continue their trade, to continue their families. It was as though they were never torn apart in the first place, but one group could continue their adoration of the serpent, and the other could have a safe distance. Until, decades later, N'Zoth convinced those here in Raptua to wage war and conquer those in Malnova. No human could rest not worshipping her. And when they were set to invade, the humans of Malnova heard word of this and turned their waygate off. Disconnected it. And that's key. They disconnected it. And that is what I've been researching. Because in that wake, I mean, I'm sure you can put together what happens next, but the N'Zoth humans, N'Zoth began to change. She began to form them in her image over the course of hundreds of years. The one T that we have today. And they erected more waygates around their continent to travel easily from city to city. Now, here's the most important part. With these waygates, they are all connected by like a central nexus. Some way to teleport from one location to another, seamlessly, in the blink of an eye. There's nothing like it on this plane. And I can, over my studies over these past couple months, I began to explore this network. And I want to share with you what I've discovered. In the center here is the nexus. I don't know yet, but something that they are using to facilitate transportation. With each waygate that is built, a key is constructed with it. You can't transport to a waygate without its correlated key. And I've been able to decode these keys over time. They aren't difficult necessarily if you know them already.
And I start pulling out some of the tablets, like, do you mean like these?
Yes, exactly. Look. And he brings one of the tablets over and compares it to the key that he has written here. And you can see that it's inscribed on the stone tablet. They match. These are essentially setting coordinates for where you are going. And I've been able to prove this theory correct with my own little waygate here that he gestures to. I created this waygate, I created a key, and now it is linked to the network. Now, this is why I can't leave. I've been able to identify all the keys to all the waygates that are in use, including the one in Grand City. I can see the destinations, so I'm trying to match the key to them, right? There is one waygate that I don't have a key for. And the one T refuse to answer me and have forbid me to discovering where it goes or what the key is.
This one on the far left, right?
Right.
And so with your understanding now, do you think you can build us a key to go there?
That is what I need to stay and find out. If there's a waygate location that the 1T have forbid me from researching, discovering, or exploring, that to me seems like the one I should be focusing as much attention on as I can. I obviously have to do it in secret. I can't. It's slow work. I'm monitored heavily here. Every waygate transportation that I use through this gate here is watched, recorded, and confirmed by them. I use it to teleport and test other locations. For example, I've been to all of these locations for a few minutes, and then I have to teleport back because they have to confirm that I've returned. But, on the other hand, these keys are available to you to use. This will bring you anywhere in their empire. And I have a waygate for you to use to get anywhere you need to in the empire. I just have to go with you and then come back so that it looks like it was used once and then used to return.
Well, that could be pretty useful for our journey.
Are they going to be here anytime soon? I mean, you said they check in on you. We're good, right?
We're good through the night.
Okay.
And he looks at your map, and he takes it and replaces it and says, "We have plenty of revealed maps here. Although I don't know who did this is wonderfully done." As he kind of admires your cartological work, but he begins to reveal all of it for you.
Oh shit!
I ask if I can take one of these maps.
Of course, yes.
And then I hand him the tome, and I tell him that I have transcribed teleport, fireball, invisibility, and ray of frost. And then I close it, and I go put it back on the bookshelf and like make eye contact with him when I like where I put it, so he knows that there's a book with spells in it.
He takes your hand and kind of holds them in his and says, "As one wizard to another, you have given me my life back."
I kind of give him a nod and then start looking at the map.
I do want to ask him if he has a pet spider.
He kind of lowers his brow. No spider.
Okay.
No.
Thunder,
I don't know if
go
you
to
saw
sleep
it,
right now and see what the spider says.
Shush. And I don't know if you saw, but before Dispel Magic, I cast Goodberry because you said like he looked exhausted and blah blah blah. And I was like, okay, I'll give him a Goodberry.
And he takes them and kind of hides them in the bookshelf in each one right now. Thank you.
You also punched him.
Yeah, I'm repairing my punch. I was gonna cast heal. Fuck. What's the word? What's the spell? No. Level 1 or no. I was gonna cast Cure Wounds, but if his scar goes away, his newly cut face gets repaired, it's gonna be obvious that like someone was here.
Yeah.
And helped them.
And so he turns back to the group of you and says, "I think that I can help you. I don't know where this Waygate location goes to, and I don't necessarily know what you're doing here. But I'm too close to discovering it to leave yet. But as soon as I know what it is, I will of course pass it along to you."
How?
He thinks for a moment.
Give him another stone.
But then him and his simulacrum will both
Dude,
have
at
a
this point,
stone.
we only got like 3 stones left for the whole
I know.
Yeah, he kind of shakes his head. "You might have to come visit in some time.
Well, you're gonna crack the code on this other portal.
If only I knew Cindy.
We're gonna have to come back.
Write that down.
Yes. Give me, I don't know, 5 days, a week."
Which one is it?
We might be back later than that. We have other duties that we have to attend to, and
That's fine. And of course, like I said, this Waygate is available to you, however you might need.
Yeah, so we can do what we're doing here, come back directly back here, and jump somewhere else that we haven't been yet.
oh yeah, you're right. Oh yeah, and now we have the whole map revealed, so
I say,
we know exactly where we can hop to and to go places. Perfect.
Right, as long as it's on this map, you can go there.
Yeah, like we can go to Lolis and check out. Yeah, okay. Lolis.
Udamos.
Lolis.
And I reach into the bag of holding and pull out my teleport home, and we can get back maybe, or we got options. Trees too, right? Thunder, you got trees.
I can just teleport.
I need a tree.
You can just teleport?
Yeah, I just have to remember to.
You can teleport us, Fayil.
Yeah, you can teleport too.
Yeah, we have multiple options to get back. Yeah, okay. This is beautiful. Archmage for the win, dude.
What do we call you? Archmage 1? Original? OG?
Archmage OG.
I think at this point the simulacrum's more of the OG.
Does the simulacrum know
Just the
that
real-
he's a simulacrum? Why didn't he tell us?
He would
I'll wait
only
till
know if
Alvos
the
finds
Archmage
out.
told him originally.
Does he not know he's a simulacrum?
Not unless the Archmage told him.
Yeah,
Did you
I'm
tell
sure you could set it
him?
up where it's
Like the Archmage.
Dang.
And the Archmage kind of looks to the ground and says, "Its existence is to replicate me when necessary. If it was aware that it wasn't truly me, then its meaning would, well, its purpose would be meaningless."
Yeah, I
You
guess
know,
like he
it's
could have
sacrificing
made
itself for
the
you.
simulacrum and then had like a contingency set on it that if something happened to himself that it would activate it.
That's exactly right. I set it up with a command word.
Well, I'm not gonna tell him it's fake.
Yeah, we'll see how this all plays out before, if there's two of y'all, there'll be some talks, Talk to the guy.
Sweet.
And we'll end our session there. And I know that gives y'all a lot to think about planning wise, but you can begin
is.
to
That was a cool
organize your
reveal.
next steps.
I thought
Was
we were
not
gonna
expecting
kill
that.
her. Yeah, I was not expecting the Archmage.
Yeah, dude, that's
I
wild.
Oh my god.
I thought about him being evil, but I was like, that would feel really bad.
And again?
Yeah, that'd be actually really lame.
Wait, who do
Chris,
you mean
is it-
again? Who did it the first time?
No, like we were gonna be tricked again into helping the Yunti
Oh,
like unlock a portal.
yeah.
Right.
The first time we weren't tricked into it, we were just dumb as shit.
We were tricked into it. We were tricked into opening.
We thought we were gonna get in
it.
trouble, so
We were just trying to steal a book of necromancy, okay?
And now there are two
we still have
archmages that don't know that y'all are the reason why.
And yeah, the whole war and everything, all of that, because we tried to steal a book. Started a major world conflict.
To a lich that's gonna. I mean, he's gonna live another 1,000 years. What was it? How,
Really, it's
what was
Felix's
his-
fault because the DM made him
Yeah, it's
cinematically
all
escape
Felix.
whenever he was gonna die.
Really? You know what? You're right. It is Felix's fault. True evil.
We were straight up gonna kill him, and David's like, "No, wait,
Dude,
he escapes."
we outplayed him so hard. If you remember, we pushed him into the coffin and closed it in on him.
Yeah, dude.
Why didn't I allow it? What did I say?
I think you were building it up that because you just like were boss cutscene. You can't kill this guy.
Yeah.
Something to the effect,
And
and
basically,
then
he just got to escape without us doing anything about it.
Good
And
decision.
Then the drought
me.
came in, and then the drought came in.
That's funny.
And that decision
Whoopsie.
sparked us to go find the necromancy book, which
Yeah.
started the whole war.
Wow. Wow.
With
So
Jin putting
really,
his hand
I did it.
Yeah,
in
and
this
because
serious
Jin
object.
was just like, I wonder what happens if I put my hand. Zoop, gone.
Gone. I think
We're
I
all like,
told
I
y'all,
guess we all
but
go with him.
originally I was gonna have that archway just be like Harry Potter. If you fall through it, you die. But then you put your hand in it, and I was like, well, fuck, I don't want him to die. So I was like, just in
I
a moment,
remember-
I had no idea
remember
where
you
it went. I was just like,
immediately
you just
stopped
disappear.
The session there, and you're like, okay, we're done. I have a lot of stuff to figure out.
Yeah, I was like, I guess you disappear. I don't know. I was like, you don't die, obviously, because I didn't think I was gonna go through it. So.
That way, too. He's going like,
I mean, I didn't go
people
all the way
living
through it. I
down-
just took my hand through it.
And I don't think I was experienced enough as a DM to be able to think like you feel like a stinging in your hand. Like I was just like, well, you broke the rules, so now you die. You know, like, huh? You're gone.
Yeah, that was badass too, though, because you separated us because we came down at different times and like
Yeah.
so we had, like 3 locations
Some of
and
like,
like
us were in the
people
belly
found
of
each other.
Yeah, those are
Yeah.
wild times.
That was wild.
Okay, why am I blanking on the name? The Momozoa?
Momoa.
The Moa.
Uh,
Yeah, the Momoa.
Dude, we would completely fuck that thing up now.
Oh yeah.
You would completely. Yeah, you would destroy the Moa Moa.
It wouldn't even be. It would just be like killing a fucking kobold. Like it'd be nothing at this point. I just cast Disintegrate on it and it'll just die.
We wouldn't need to blow up someone.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? Small world is that. So the Moa Moa thing, there's that, and these trickster gods are from a what's it called? Not a campaign, like something that
Module.
Module. Yeah, they all come from a module, and it just so happens that they have one called a Moa, which is totally and absolutely unrelated, but kind of crazy that it just so happens to align with what we've already done, and
That's awesome.
y'all almost certainly don't remember this, but this is where y'all were with the lizard folk on the big map of Reptua, and that's like where y'all went to see Yokizos, was there in Reptua.
Oh damn! Was one of these cities
Which is also
where
kind
the
of crazy.
party came went and talked to you? The general?
They got fed real good, remember?
Y'all went
fed
to a
real
city there, so I mean we could essentially say yes.
And then somewhere around there was a sand temple, and then we teleported back. Or something.
Yeah, it's
Oh man, we've come so far.
And the cave
Kinda-
temple? The waterfall temple?
kind of crazy.
Oh yeah, that thing.
Like the reverse waterfalls and like the anglerfish people.
And the jellyfish.
And then there
or
was
the
a sand
octopus.
temple
We
that
fought
was
an
like
ice
happening
elemental,
sand.
and
I remember when I turned into a jellyfish to communicate with the jellyfish with the dance, and then like I went in some like pipe, and then I was like, "What do I see?" And you're like, "You're a jellyfish. You can't see." I'm like,
see.
"Fuck."
I do remember
I
that.
actually, yeah, I also kind of remember that.
Yeah.
You really wanted to be an octopus
thought you
so
were
bad.
drawn
You're like,
on
"Do I see an
a
octopus?
raceboard."
Yeah.
Dude, do I see an octopus? Do I see an octopus?"
Yeah. Is there an octopus here?
And then the boss we
David?
fought was an octopus.
Yeah, that was dope.
I have a map actually of.
I remember the tentacles would come out of the water on the platforms and rip John.
Yeah. Yeah, that was cool.
I was in the
So-
sand one with Carter.
Yeah, y'all fought a bone.
Yeah.
Yeah, we fought a bone.
Yeah,
And
Bone
then
Naga.
the suit of
Fucking
armor,
sand.
the
Flipping up
big
and down.
just suit of armor guy with the big sword, that basically only
Oh,
wanted
yeah.
to fight Aslos.
Yep.
So the
I ran. Hey, David, I ran that for the kids because it was so good.
Really?
That same. Yeah,
That's funny.
It was too good not to steal.
this
We're all
this,
related.
this map that I linked in General Malnova was made in 2021, and it shows where y'all went when y'all were in Raptua, and you can compare it to the map on in the D&D screen. The river is the same, the lakes are the same, and the settlements are the same.
No,
Wow.
because this is Dauntless and this is Lola is.
That actually is true. The name changed. We had a name change, but that's from 4 years ago.
Yokizos' cave.
Yep.
There it is. Where's my ship?
Driftwood.
It's
Rotted
worth putting on the
driftwood
map. Yeah,
shit.
just all rotted driftwood, but it was glorious.
It's crazy what you can remember once you start. It's like a good TV show, right? You start
Yeah.
talking. Oh yeah, that one episode. Remember that one?
I still
remember.
have my character background info that
Remember?
led into all that.
Remember?
Remember Yokizos? Remember when Lauren tried to fight
I
Drew?
remember.
Remember Carter? He was a wizard and never used spells. Remember?
Who?
Well, remember it all happened because Yokizos. I was trying to be friendly to Yokizos because we just met him, and like she was having my back, and Nico and fucking Drew were like, "Nah, fuck this guy."
No, he wasn't
Lauren was the wizard.
Yokizos.
She was a ranger, yeah.
Yeah,
She was a ranger.
he was still the bear man. At the
My bad, Ranger.
Yeah, I was still
Ripjaw.
I was still a
Oh no,
famous
Ripjaw.
NPC
That's what-
Ripjaw at
not
that point.
Yokizos. No, that's what I'm saying. We met Yokizos. Like we met Yoki. We were in his hut when that shit.
Yeah.
We were
When
in
we were in-
Yokizos' hut. It was David playing you, not you. Yet.
Yeah, it
You
was
were
me
still
playing
Ripjaw.
Oh.
Yokizos.
Yeah, that's why
And
you
that's
attacked
when
him.
all hell broke.
Fucking funny.
Remember Thunder gonna get killed by the party because he was bit by Felix? Remember?
We were
And
gonna
at the
kill
end,
him.
at
Remember
the end of the
Thunder
long
wanting to
session
die?
was when it was revealed that I was no longer Ripjaw and I was Yokizos. It was at the end of a long session we did in person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. I
I'm
remember
so down for a
Thunder
long
asking
session.
me. Yeah, well, I'll probably ask for one whenever we get a bit closer. We're still kind of on track for finishing at the end of March.
Okay.
Maybe not
Damn.
perfectly, but it's
We're getting
getting closer. I don't know if y'all are feeling it, but it's
I'm
it's
feeling,
getting closer.
It
Yeah,
feels
I'm
close. I
starting
mean,
to-
we got a
starting
lot
to
of
feel it.
stuff done.
I'm feeling it, Mr. Krabs.
I'm feeling it.
Yeah. It's we're
feeling it.
we're rocking and rolling. This was a big one to get out of the way.
Well, I'm gonna go
Ooh,
watch the
man.
Mavs game.